It's time.
Where I was going to get with Copper, I heard that Copper is in the best shape it's ever been in currently.
Yeah.
I heard it's in great shape.
To be fair, it was in decent shape when we went out, and it was early.
Yeah.
Right.
No, they're just, I mean, it's coming into its own, and like they take good care of it, and they put money into it, and the guy out there.
I love me some Copper.
Garrett's-
Some people don't, and I don't understand.
No, I mean, and that's the thing is like that. Like a lot of people haven't played out there in a long time, and if you go out there, it looks completely different. I mean, if you go out to Terrace Hills right now, it looks completely different.
Does it?
They shaved all the trees. You can literally see from. So the furthest corner of the course would be the old number 3 green. You can see all the way through the trees to the road. Like they've cut.
Oh.
I would say they've cut 90% of their trees gone. And I'm talking about in play, out of play. Just leveled them. Somebody got crazy with a bulldozer. Let's put it that way.
That par 3 to start the back
I
nine.
don't really like about the course.
No.
Yeah. So
that par 3 to start the back nine.
Clubhouse is amazing though. They put $1 million clubhouse in there, and it's oh my gosh, it's unreal.
Hole 10, that par
So
3
they
to start
flip, though.
with it being like a 215, 220 yard par 3. It's like, okay, to start a back
up.
nine.
Yeah.
Buckle up
But then you
Get
got
ready.
short par 5, short par 4,
to make up for.
short par 4, short par 4, short par 5. So like, there's a lot of scoring opportunities still. The 2 par 3s on that side are still very difficult though.
I
2 toughest holes.
I think one of my
bar
favorite
none
holes on that
backside
course
now.
is that downhill par 3.
That's on the
over
front now, and number
Yes.
Yeah, so it'd be
I've
1,
played there
2,
in 3.
7?
3, 4. It's the one right after the par 5.
Okay.
5.
But I
so it'd be
like
number
that.
5.
Yeah, I like that par 3 straight downhill.
Because it's right in between the par 5s.
Yeah, and it's tough to decide.
It's a
okay,
fun
is
hole.
it a pitching wedge? Is it a wet? Is it a 50?
And the green's got a couple different levels to it too. So
Yeah.
you got water on the
we have
left.
a couple of those in Iowa between Ames and Terrace Hill, basically, of those downhill par 3s.
Yep.
Otter's got one. Terrace has Honey Creek, I believe
I've-
it is, has one. That's like 100 feet.
That's one.
It's pretty cool to have
That's
those.
one course I've never played.
I mean, it's now 17. Old number 8 at TCI.
Oh, yeah.
Is by far, to me, it's not close as far as the most difficult shot, because the one in Honey Creek is higher.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's
there's
straight
not
right in front of you. There's
there's not nearly as
trouble.
As much trouble, and you don't have to hit as much club.
True.
Like there's days that literally 3 wood is in play off that top tee box at TCI, and not a lot of people are playing the tips, but a lot of people will go up there just to look at it. That's as intimidating as it gets, as far as a par 3.
Now I know what you're talking about.
When you go all the way up the hill,
because
there's only one set of tee boxes up there, and that's
there's 2 of those holes at TCI.
No, but there's only one that's a par 3.
We were saying par 3s.
No.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that's a par 3 with the pond off to the right that you're thinking of, where you can go into.
Well, it's the big pond that's part of the course.
Right, and then there's the... Oh, I'm trying to think of what number it is.
We just played out there.
Right, but I'm trying to think of what hole number it is. You go up, and then the drop zone is back off to the back right. Because I had to drop there, ended up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so there's two of those holes.
I mean, it's right after the par 5. So it goes.
Is it like 12?
Par 3 that here's
New
how slow
12?
I'll remember. Goat Hill par 3. That's really not a difficult hole. Just kind of and then there's the par 5. Then the next par 3 you go up top.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
That's an intimidating tee shot, more so from the fact that
because what you look at is just overgrowth and woods off to your right,
and bunker
all over,
behind.
and bunkers.
But it's not as intimidating as the other one. But it's still tough, and the green's actually really big. So if you put out a pin on the front or the back, like the club that you hit definitely brings 3 putts into play. But yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, I got you.
That would be
Goat Hill.
Is it 12?
Is it Goat Hill?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I just
killed
know
him. He
when you
killed
said it took me a
himself
little
on
bit,
that,
and I was like,
killed
now I got it.
himself. Nick absolutely died on a hole he should have taken a drop.
I now repeated that. Now,
Yeah.
yes. What?
Because it's now number, so it's 10, 11, so it's 12.
I'm trying to
So the one you're talking about is 14.
Like, so on the right side is an entire bank
Yeah.
of fescue.
Fescue.
It's sloped around this area.
No,
It's
worse.
it's like a NASCAR.
I know, but I'm trying to give
You
like,
can't take
it's
a
like a
stance
NASCAR
with
turn.
1 foot.
It was like if you.
It's like a NASCAR turn.
If you're standing, you could act
Bank.
like your club is almost parallel. It's a little below.
Not to mention
But
you're
it's a
in
baseball swing.
3 foot fescue.
It's a low on the strike zone swing, not middle to low, not even low.
Just take your drop.
Fescue.
Just get the hell out of there.
Yes, or go exactly like this way. He kept trying to go forward into it.
Right. 4 times. Not to
was
mention,
awesome. Go,
trying to walk on
I
something
just-
that looks like this when
After
you're out
that-
golfing on a hot day.
Oh,
After that, he was just
Strength.
defeated
I
and
forgot
so
all about-
tired.
I-
And-
He was straight kicking our ass until that hole.
yeah.
and then it was game over.
That was that's the easier par 3s.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. No, that when you go up top there, yeah, you've got 2 elevated par 3s there.
Well, when you get
Yeah, that
far into
one's
that
just-
back part, just to,
I just
like you
don't like
said,
that one
it's
as
just
much
the
because
intimidating look of it. It's not
It's
that
tight.
hard of a hole.
No,
it's
it's
just
straight. It's
intimidating.
tight. It's tight.
well,
The other
TCI
one,
is, I mean, it's always listed in a top 5 Iowa courses.
Not
I feel
because the shape
living
it's in, though.
locally, like we know that it's not in the greatest shape,
Ever.
which is disappointing. Like it's always under some type of like renewal.
yeah.
They flip the back and the front, which we all hate.
Terrible.
Just a lot of different things. And then
Was that a
golf
Nicholas
trip.
design?
that I went on, we played one. I think TCI was either 2 or 3, so we played 1, 2, 4, and 5 or whatever. And like those golf courses are just like they're just better golf courses, and you know like maybe it's because of the nostalgia of only playing
And the
those,
name and-
Yeah.
like whatever. But like I've just played TCI enough to like not think of it as that.
What's your favorite course? Not like public, private around Des Moines.
Probably either Honey Creek and Boone or Legacy.
Okay.
And I like the course at Legacy. I don't like playing at Legacy. If
Agree.
that makes sense.
Okay.
So I've never played Honey Creek ever.
That's a good one.
We should
I
go
like
there.
it.
We
I
should
really like Honey.
absolutely go there. Best hidden gym
Oh.
between there and
You will
Westwood in Newton.
you will lose a lot of balls.
There aren't 2 courses that are more. Have
you
you guys
say-
played Westwood
No,
in Newton?
I've never played Westwood.
$30, 18 holes during the week.
No, never.
So like those 2 places are first of all best courses,
Value.
best value. Honey Creek better golf course, Westwood better value, and Honey Creek is a great value, but
Yeah.
Westwood is best value in Iowa,
What about?
hands down.
I don't know what hole it is on Honey Creek. It's a par. Well, there's 2 of them. There's 2 par 4s that are hard dog leg rights. One has a creek in the middle that
They're both on the back.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, once
One
you
creeks in the
make
middle,
the turn,
so
you're
you're-
playing into the ledges.
Yeah, yeah. So that one over the creek, it sucks because the creek's in your
So you
it's the
got
worst spot.
12.
And then the other par 4 where it's a dog right fast, but it's you're up. Then your approach is up. I don't even know how many feet. 50.
Yeah,
Like
probably.
it's way up there. Those 2 are hard and fun at the same time.
Yeah.
because they're drastically different. But you're doing it's the same.
The whole
tee
back 9
shot.
of that course is relatively exhausting.
Oh, absolutely.
And like I would
Is it
almost
the par?
dare
Is
say
that par 3? Is that 10?
unwalkable.
Where's 11
11.
to start the back?
11.
Yeah, and it's just like outside
Because
of that.
10 is still, it's short, dogleg right.
Yeah,
And then 11 is the hard. And then you got the par 5.
yeah.
And then you got the par 4, toughest hole in the course, up and around to the
Yep.
right. And then you got another par 4, which is high elevated tee box, but down.
Correct. Yep.
And then you've got hidden dogleg left. And then you've got par 3. And then you've got straight par 4 back to link style to end it.
It's That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is like, so like the front is links with a lot of fescue,
Yeah.
a few trees sprinkled in, which is
Water. There's more ponds than
But-
a normal.
the
links.
water is in play with good shots,
Yes.
which is the toughest part, is that it's not like just there. It is like, it's
In your shit.
It is
in your.
like you have to take it into consideration, which then therefore brings fescue into play. And so like there's not any, and it's not like it's narrow, but it's just, especially for the amateur golfer, it's like, okay, I have to think about this and this. And anytime we get more than one,
Actually,
like zero
and
is
we're already
like,
thinking
correct,
at zero?
Correct.
and now we have things.
But like just the views out there, once you get on the back nine, the best
pretty cool.
picture is actually when you're standing on 18, which is a links hole. But when you're looking back out over the ledges in the valley, just a beautiful picture.
So Honey is our next one.
Honey Creek, or I would take you guys down to Westwood in Newton.
Or Westwood.
Westwood and Newton, a little hidden gym down there. Shorter course, but a lot of up and down. And then, I mean, there's some trees, but it's just, it makes you work. It makes you hit the whole bag. It makes you put the ball where you're supposed to put the ball. The greens are always in great shape, and they take a ton of pride in their course in the fact that, so like they hosted the co-ed state high school tournament this year. So just, it's a family owned, like the clubhouse is a house clubhouse.
Oh, like an actual.
So like
That's
it's a,
legit.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
So
The
like
best.
just, I mean, just one of those, like you can feel the, like the
Do
people
they make you
there
breakfast in
want
the morning
to be there.
too?
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, it's just that, you know, a feeling that you don't get anymore from a lot of the courses around here is that it's not corporate. They're very friendly. You can talk to the people.
Yeah.
You know, they've got members that are kind of going off here and there, but for the most part, like, so that's what, like those two courses would
do
be,
it.
those are my
Those are yours too.
courses that I would want,
Relatively
definitely want to
local?
get you guys to as well, that are outside of the metro, but still very reasonable drives and like extremely reasonable in pricing and everything like that. And the golf is
Pretty legit. What's your
as good as can be.
what would be your favorite local?
Local.
Apparently, Ames to Newton bubble.
Right. Yeah, right. No, I mean,
They're not
I-
that far.
right.
So
by the way.
I honestly,
I mean, we can say county. You know, Polk County would be a little bit different.
Yeah, that's fair.
so I think this is tough because it's only 9 holes of one course. My favorite 9 is the South 9 of Beaver Creek.
I like South.
It's I don't love
I don't even disagree with him, but
No,
I
I
just
don't.
can't stand
I don't love the
overall
other
Beaver
9.
everything else
I don't love
about
the other 9. Like I don't
Absolutely
like
not.
that, but the South 9 of
South's
Beaver Creek I
Pretty
like.
legit.
Oh, it's really cool.
I like
it's,
a lot.
It's pretty legit.
Um
Man, you
And-
should have seen. We played the South 9 as part of the golf tournament that I played in with Joe, and who else did we even play with? It's
Don't matter.
pretty irrelevant.
Yeah.
There were, so the South 9. So
Yep.
you got the par 5. They had a
Yeah.
long drive hole. That's number 1. It's a short par 5, but like they had a long driver out there. And they hit and you pay your money and you go up and you get a birdie or an eagle or whatever. So we did that. And then the next par 3 is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real tough hole.
Yeah.
Very ugly hole. Like
Oh yeah.
just the green looks gross.
Shit,
Nothing
it's
feels
gross.
good about the tee box. Like, and then
There's
the par
trouble in
3,
front of you, it's not
go
good.
around the corner. You've got an island green.
Yeah. On that.
And then the par 4's down the hole. Hill, not a tough hole, but you can't see the green.
Yep.
Like this is what, like just character holes. Like
Yeah.
these holes all have
Yeah.
different types of character. The par 3 is a short par 3, but it's like it's a downhill par 3. It's only 110 yards, 120 yards,
Yep.
Right.
whatever. Like Buellen's went on like like he hit like a 330-yard drive onto the downhill par 4, hit up probably a 58-degree wedge, knowing him, to like 6 inches on the par 3, and
a
then
heater.
the next par 5 is a great par 5.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So like you're hitting straight out into the fairway and then across a creek, and there's a pond on the left.
Yes.
We hit 3 balls in a best ball to position A, like one right, one middle, one right up against the creek. So we've got a great look up the hill. We're like, Joe, You just got to send one, across the pond and the creek.
Yep.
Hit it 360 on a draw up along the tree line
Yeah.
that goes up the hill.
Yeah.
We had 160 into that par 5. I had an 8-iron into a par 5 into that par 5.
Get it,
and
Joe?
we had great looks from below, but
that was a
he just went on on a run.
He was on a run.
Right.
He's a heater.
And I actually ended up hitting the shot on that hole is specifically why I remember it for the second shot. The 8-iron that I hit was 12 feet and we eagled the hole. That was the day we had no 4s on the scorecard. So that was fun.
That's impressive.
So
Yes.
Maybe.
So I
Well,
also-
of course,
it depends.
I understand why you say that because so that hole and then the next hole is you're hitting over pine trees on an uphill down with a pond, island-ish green.
Yeah.
Boom. Next hole, you're hitting over trees, short par 4. You can't see the hole at
Can't
all.
see shit.
Do you need to hit a 6-iron?
Where am I at?
Probably.
Right. But
But then you're hitting drivers.
Yeah.
We hit a driver there
shit.
that hit somebody. Somebody hit somebody on the par 3 tee box.
yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
That was sitting in a tent over there on an event hole. Like every shot until the 9th hole.
Which is a drivable par 4.
Which is a drivable-ish par 4 that you can
Boring,
technically see. But you still have water on the right. Trees on the left.
Yeah.
It was literally the only hole all day we used my drive. I hit a lot of decent drives, but Joe was playing
he
well.
was a heater.
But as I talk through that, to justify Ryan's pick of what in my mind, I never choose to play Beaver. But that 9 hole because a lot of times you don't get. They tell you
No, you
what
can't.
9 that you had to play, or they don't have the South Open,
They don't have South Open,
Right.
or
usually.
whatever it is. But that court, I 100% agree that there's. I would say 7 out of 9 holes are great holes as far as you're not going to find another hole that's quite like it.
That. Yeah.
And there's a little bit of nostalgia there for me just because that was so I got the go ahead to play 9 holes of golf before my wedding. And the South 9 of Beaver Creek were the 9 holes I got to play before my wedding. So that was cool too. But at the same time, we do a Ryder Cup style tournament out at Beaver Creek where it was only 18 last year, but the first year it was cold, it was wet, it was rainy because we do it the first weekend of October, and we played all 3 9s. And I have probably never seen a drunker group of golfers by hole 18. 18 was definitely you were done after 18. The last 9 was just miserable just because everybody was tuned up. But we would, after every 9, you switched partners, you switched formats, you switched everything. It was great. It's awesome if it's a today where it's, well, maybe not today actually because it's
90.
super hot. But if it's 75, 80 where you're just playing golf, it's good. But if it's super, super chilly and you have to drink to try and warm your body up, tough. If it's super hot and you have to drink to try and bear the heat, tough. But yeah, that's my favorite 9. I don't know if I have
Another 9 to go with it.
true favorite 18. I don't know. I love copper just because I've played it so much.
I love some copper.
Scoreable holes, but also tough holes there too.
Thoughts
I
on
think it's
Waveland? That's a lot. That's another one that sneaks into top 10s every once in a while.
I like
so does
Waveland.
Jesser.
I like Waveland a lot, but I hate it because I feel like my distance and where I'm at is always a bad lie. I'm always on an uphill or a downhill.
I don't know.
That course in general.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know
matter
if
what
I've
tees you
played
play
from the
I don't think.
tips. I don't know if I've ever played from the tips. So I don't from the tips standpoint, which is what I'm thinking of this conversation. I don't know if
I think
I have.
you
I think
need
it
to
has my
start
least
playing
favorite hole in
more
Iowa.
Golf with
Well,
Joe.
not Nick.
Well, that's true.
I think it
That-
has my
that- I
least
mean,
favorite hole.
I just
Step
don't
one.
think
Roger and I play from the tips. But
Right,
yeah, Joe.
which is
Yeah,
fine.
playing with Joe would be good.
Joe,
which-
Joe doesn't
Me
ever
too.
play. If we aren't playing, well, I mean, he
in
can.
a tournament or something,
He'll
he'll pick.
we'll
pick tips.
always
How
play
good?
the
How
tips.
good is Joe?
Joe? Just hits a ball a long ways.
Unless he gets on a heater.
He's just. I mean, yeah, but even then,
but his chipping is.
He's very.
He's a long. He's
He's been
compared
playing
to
really
you.
good lately. We're the same handicap. I mean, he's I think right as of the last 2 months when he actually kept handicap, But like, I'm never afraid not to give Joe strokes.
Correct.
So if you gave
Cole's
if
better
you two,
than Joe by
if you two,
4 or 5.
And
In my
you and
easily.
but me,
Stoy,
Matt, and Joe don't ever give each other strokes. Like, we play like even.
you and Stoy against me and Joe, you give us a stroke on par 5s. Is that a fairly even pairing?
So we're giving
Give a
you
stroke
basically
on the
4
easiest-
strokes.
yeah.
But we're only giving you them
On
to
the
you
par
on par
fives.
fives. If we're playing best ball,
or best shot.
Best ball.
I mean, best ball's just tough, just because like you would expect to
miss.
birdie. Whereas,
Correct.
like, I feel like Joe or I
Right.
should birdie
Yeah.
a par 5, like, and we'd be playing from the tips. But like,
But that's where the extra stroke comes into play because I might not do that.
no,
So he
no,
might
that's what I'm
ego
saying.
when you guys
say
both birdie.
That's more thought, fairly fair. Because and then I think par 3s.
Like, if we were just going out and playing, like, individual
Scores.
Take best score. Take
like,
best score of the hole.
score,
Just scored overall.
then
for the
yes,
hole.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, like, that's the thing with Joe is, like, Joe will just get hot and make 4 birdies in a row
I don't think
because he can drive. Joe
I've
can
never played with Joe outside.
So
can
he's tough
drive
to play match
4
play.
He can drive like 4. Absolutely.
Like he's
that
a
would
really
be-
good
Have
match
I
play
ever
guy.
played with him?
Because he makes a lot of birdies.
Yeah.
Compared to
How
an
have I
amateur,
never played with
compared
Joe
to
outside?
amateurs of his handicap, he would make more. He would be plus in birdies, but he
because
wouldn't
he's inside
be
100
a
on.
bogey avoidance
So he's a-
guy.
He's a birdie or better guy.
Correct.
He-
Whereas I would be the
Yeah.
generally speaking,
You're a bogey avoidance
I would
guy.
be a Fitzpatrick type of player.
Yeah.
Joe would be a scorer.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, whoever that number 1 guy is.
Absolutely.
The guy that he
I
would be
honestly
a
think Luke List is a birdie or better
DeChambeau,
guy.
Cameron Young, those like just hits it. I mean,
You're a bomber. So
for
your
a guy his
probability of-
handicap, he would be top 1% driving distance. Like, there's just shots.
bombs.
There's maybe one other
played
guy
with him
that
once.
I play with.
We
but,
played
like,
him
there's
once,
just shots where
Waveley.
Joe hits certain shots, and you're just like, that shot isn't.
in my,
like,
I don't
not-
see it.
That's
it's
not,
not
an
in
amateur
it.
shot.
But it's not even like a on my best day type of shot. It's like never.
It's not on the list.
I
It's not even a
can't, with any club
Ever.
that has ever been invented, hit that shot, and that's because his swing speed,
I played with him once in a tournament at Waveland.
which is why he's a good best ball player.
Absolutely.
Individually, he's been playing more individual ball this year than he has normally. So like,
He's
everything
getting
else
better
is progressing
because
from
he's
that perspective.
having to play those shots.
Right. Like, but at the end of the day, like, there's still, the
Doesn't have
wayward
anybody to
shot
bail him
here,
out.
or anything
Because of
like
swing
that.
speed.
Right. And like,
You're going to have that.
the bad misses are still going to be bad. And,
Legit.
it's not a guy that you would want to play in like a self best ball. Like, I get a second swing at something.
No.
I mean, because there's like, how many people do you know? And I can say that the answer is like one personally that can hit a 6-iron 240 yards. And like, I've witnessed that multiple, like, it's not a one-off. It's just if he needs to hit a flyer shot from 240, he can hit a 6-iron. And it's like, that's my 3-wood. And that's
The math
not
is
like a full, like that's not a controllable 3-wood. That's not a 4-iron.
Just swing.
There's just
swing
not a
at it.
club in the bag that like I can just take and knowingly hit over a tree
This is where I'm going, yeah.
or anything like that. Whereas like he goes up there with a 6 or 7-iron on certain swings that most PGA Tour guys would do, like when they know that they can lash at one.
Yeah.
And that's, Joe's thing
'Cause
is
he
a
lash.
control thing, and like he hits 100% a lot.
And
Which
by the way, Joe is not.
Joe's
Joe is
6'3", 190 pounds.
Yes. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's long. He's lanky.
He's lanky is
Yep.
the word I would use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His swing is just long. He creates a lot of speed. He's just naturally very athletic, creates a lot of speed. But like we talk about him, and the reason that I
So apparently he needs to come on the
him-
show.
Yeah, he could definitely come on the show. I don't know how much he would add because
Maybe by show I mean like we just go out and play,
Right,
and
with
film
him.
him.
I
thi-
so we
like,
they
that's
can
why-
get some-
that's
you
why I
can
asked,
see, like the
because-
ball
yeah.
makes a different noise. Like when you're inside.
inside. Totally. different.
People turn their heads when Joe hits driver into a screen because the screen does
Pops.
something different.
Yeah.
Ryan, you can attest to that. Like than any other. Like,
So, like,
your
it
best
pops.
shot ever.
Right. Ours pops. His it does in another degree.
His like
we went
penetrates.
We did a speed competition between him and I indoor once. He did 142 and I got to 138, 139.
Right. I mean, and it's all relative
Now,
to like there's might not be accurate, but the thing is like the
it's
difference
just up there and the dip like it's
he doesn't
so
have
it
to
actually-
swing hard to swing
Like
140.
it actually could be. So it'd be more fair to play straight up Cole and I versus Joe and Stoy. I'm trying to figure out like a Friday.
how about
match
we don't figure it out? We just do both.
Yeah, I mean you can
We
just do it
figure
all.
it
Yeah.
out by doing
because
playing.
realistically, sitting here, I'm the worst golfer in this group. Now, if I play good golf,
It depends
I
on
can still
it.
play
So
good
the
golf.
big
Like I'm
part in
a
that,
lot
though,
better
is,
than
like,
what I say.
If we're playing
I am.
our own ball, if we're playing best ball.
Yeah. I don't think we should do best ball on them.
I just need Cole to sit in
think
my cart and tell
It's
me.
more entertaining not to play best ball just because everybody's
Correct.
playing
Yeah,
your
yeah.
own score.
I just need Cole to sit in the cart and tell me like the same thing. I'm a lot better of a golfer than what I actually think I am. Because I am.
Yeah.
But
It would be very interesting. I would love to play with Joe because I think it would change how I swing.
Oh, it definitely does.
Because I believe between Joe and I have the ability to adapt my swing to control it where he's
doing one thing.
doing one thing. I'd let him tee off and then I would follow up with a
But
three-wood.
like, so I got the
it would be
opportunity
really
last week. I think it was a week ago Tuesday. Yeah, it was before we to play in a best ball tournament with myself who's a 6, a guy who's a 10, 9-10, and then 2 guys that are 1 handicaps. One who's going to like the actual Q school, but he wants to become a coach.
Oh.
Solid golfer, but like young kids. I mean, we're talking 24-year-old kids. We didn't shoot. We shot well. Don't get me wrong. I think we shot 16 under at Copper. No mulligans, just straight up 4-man best ball. But like shot tally was,
because you didn't know about the string rule.
correct. Yeah. We talked about this later. But like shot tally was like 11, 10, 10, 8, and like one of the handicaps was the low. But like best ball is all about having the right mix of people, and also like your lower handicappers aren't necessarily great best ball players, and it's because that like they have a mindset of how they're going to go about scoring in a golf round that really has nothing to do with the other 4 people. Whereas like I would consider myself a very good best ball player. My game is well rounded enough that hopefully I can fit in where I need to, but I do nothing terrible and nothing necessarily, depending on the day, great. But I can hopefully always be a value add in one of the areas, and it's not necessarily going to be the same one every hole. And so, like, that golfer is way more valuable in a 4-man best ball than he ever is on his own. I mean, it's why I can go shoot. Like, this weekend I played for Father's Day. I shot 35, which is even par on the front 9 at Toad Valley. Guesses on what I shot on the back 9.
Well, based upon your,
Birdie on 18.
based upon your demeanor,
Birdie on 18.
41.
I'm going 44.
45. Finished with an even 80, and I was even par through 9.
And a birdie on 18.
With the Matthew Fitzpatrick 3 birdies on the front 9, which is more birdies than I'll see usually in 2 or 3 rounds.
So that's why I honestly think that
The damn Toad
Us-
Valley.
The damn time.
the 3 of us could be a decent best ball team
With Joe?
solely
is a
for the
solid
fact
team, by the way.
fact that okay, so for myself,
That's why he's a good
for
best ball
myself,
player.
my irons and my wedges aren't that great. But I can give a line on a putt and make some putts. And then off the tee, I'm actually pretty good off the tee to keep a ball 300 down the middle or, a little bit off to the fairway. And then Stoy, who probably is a little longer off of the tee, if I go first, then I give him launch it, let it go.
Right.
I think if it's with Joe,
Okay, but perfect.
the best lineup, if Joe's in our foursome,
But where
is
we would
Joe,
struggle with that
you,
4
me,
is putting.
yeah, you're the best putter of the 4.
Right, which is ultimately
Who's
like
streaky.
if my putter's hot, then fine.
We're good.
But if it's not, then we might struggle. And then struggle is but we're talking the difference between like a 12 under and a 16 under. And that's what it is in a best ball, is that like if I'm the second or third best putter in a best ball, we're in really good shape. I don't want to be if I'm the worst
misnomer though,
we should be in really good shape.
Misnomer and maybe the worst order when it comes to putting. I don't think your best putter should ever be last in a best ball tournament.
Yeah, and a lot of times the best putter will realize that
won't
and
want to.
They'll
need to go
second or third.
They need to putt
because they need an okay putter to putt to give them a line. Somebody that can give a line.
Make you very.
They need to see it and then go putt.
That's where I'm an okay enough putter to give a line.
I would much rather putt second or third.
I might make it. I might make it, but I'll give you a line.
Right.
Whereas you're a better putter than me. You're probably a better putter than me, I would say.
Well, and a lot of that is like feel putting versus line putting. So
I'm
like,
a speed.
I'm a feel putter.
You're
like we're all feel putters. That's why I said
Joe
is a feel putter.
That's why
like just because like he's an athlete putter.
Yeah.
So like none of us are going to
us
go.
Four.
So like my uncle Jeff is also a feel putter, but has been putting his whole life. So like he's what self-proclaimed an angle putter, meaning he's looking at certain points on areas. Yes, he's aiming at a point, but he's not a line the ball up guy. Now, I'm not saying that it matters whether you have one of those in your group, but like he's a 3 to 4 handicap.
You need someone to say, like, I'm hitting it to this spot.
He can make putts because angle putting is visual.
Yeah.
So after you see putts, I just need to see, for the most part for me, I need to see one person hit a decent putt
at a spot
so that I can be confident whatever it is that I'm doing.
I agree.
Which is why I'm not sure. I can't figure out exactly how good we would be because of like we're all similar, but are we all too similar?
This is an amateur thing.
That's a good call.
Do you need to line up the line on your putts?
I don't care about that.
Or
no.
For me, and this is weird, that line messes me up.
Correct.
I don't need any of that.
Because I look at that line.
I will move the line.
I will crooked it. I don't need it.
I want to see.
You don't want it because
I
then
more
want
to
to
see the logo.
As far as like, oh, it's almost
precise. Right. Yeah. And then
you just turn it over.
For me, I more want to see the logo. I'll put the logo there because I can't see anything. So
I don't care what to see.
But that's why best ball is such a
you see all
anomaly,
these right?
With
the tour players,
to like you say, like, oh, you could put Scotty and DJ and Rory and all of them, and they would just like
maybe because they're
would they though?
No, not yet. Here's the answer: yes, because of how amazing they are at putting.
Right.
Like if those guys got to see 3 lines,
any of them,
I have a hard time believing that they wouldn't figure that out. Because also, like every one of them's going for the pin every time.
They're going to be within 10 feet every time.
I just don't know how. Like, I mean, you got to understand these guys are shooting 8, 10, 12 under on their own.
Right. So you put them all together
at easy courses.
If they don't get birdies
they don't shoot 19
every time,
if they're shooting 12 under on their own and they don't go 19 or 20
of the holes we play,
especially if one of them hits a nice shot, then they're
like, let's walk through. I mean, just run through Copper Creek real quick. Driver on 1 is less than 120 yards out for most pro guys. Probably wedge to 9 on
same thing for downhill
par 3.
That next par 5.
Par 5 is less than 7 iron in
175 probably.
The next par 4 with wind in their face would be the only option.
But still, even then they're only hitting wedge to
because
8 iron.
That's a 400-yard par 4.
Putter off the next
and I'm
par
talking
3.
playing from the playing from the tips. I mean, par 3s are always an anomaly because it doesn't matter. Like, I don't think any of those par 3s are easy. Well. So, like, even if you give them pars on that, like, no matter what, like,
but they're wedges at 60
drivable,
56 on every 5.
And number 9 at Copper, I don't care who plays it. You got to play that hole well.
All right,
that's a tough hole.
Yeah,
tight
none of the par 3s are easy
that.
On the front.
Is that the par 3 and then it goes tight drive?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
hard right.
Yeah.
No,
But like I would say that there's
8. I would. I don't agree with 9.
What? 9?
Well, it depends on
9.
what.
Like I mean, they're going to hit an iron.
The tee box.
They're not hitting a driver.
But one of them has to hit the fairway. The other hit driver.
Well,
and it's
you're
clearing
talking.
on the right.
I'm just walking around a round.
For one of
and
them.
like one
got
guy.
you. Okay,
like
never
what
mind.
he's gonna hit.
Yeah.
But like they're gonna hit a solid, but they only need to take a 7-iron off the tee box instead
And
of
then they have
a
wedge.
4-iron.
And then they're
You
wedging.
know, like and then they're
Get
a
it to the
wedge
flat.
to an 8-iron in type of thing. Like if they know the course, somebody watch them through. Driver on 10, probably only 3-wood on 11. Honestly, tough par 3, drivable par 4, reachable par 5. Easy par 3,
Like
But
putter.
here's the thing.
driver.
I've seen
Like reachable drivers. We're not saying driver to hit. Like reachable.
I mean, we're talking about.
I've seen a lot of like
in the
YouTube
50s.
videos, and this is weird.
easily.
Yeah,
Depending on
This
roll.
is weird though, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, and it's not the hole going up to the green that messes them up. It's the green that messes them up because
all right.
we're more of a 9.5 on a stimp rather than
never getting the ball to a
rather
hole.
than
There's
11.
a couple bumps.
Right.
rather than 11, 12,
you have to play that.
where they think this is going to roll and it doesn't, and it stops short.
So
Right,
would
like,
you
well,
would you
okay.
say, speaking of that, would you say us putting? I want to say their specific speed because we don't really have those. Although we do at some points, we have even more
Right.
because they don't take care of them. The true roll, does that add a stroke? Take away 4 strokes? What does that do
For them versus us?
for us versus them? Do we get how many strokes does it save for us? Because of how
It depends on the
True it is.
landscape of the greens.
If you took
have
our
tiered greens, so if you're playing a difficult course and you had to putt out, it's multiple. Dare I say multiple every hole? I mean, it's not. But like for the round, if you have 18 holes, it's more than 18
strokes that we gain or
that we lose.
that we lose.
Because you're going to 3-putt more than. So like I read this stat the other day from my guy my Lou.
Yeah.
Lou, my
Which you
guy.
never
my
shared.
guy. I did share immediately after.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
That a 5 handicap from what was it?
Well, he shared it. I saw it.
It was either
It was
15,
40 yards in the fairway or 12
but
yards
this one was a
off the
putting
fairway.
one. It was
Oh,
like from
I didn't see the
15. It
putting
was
one.
no, I didn't. I don't share all of them.
Oh, he didn't share the putting
I
one.
shared so you could follow the guy so that you could see what I'm seeing.
No, you share when you think there's something we
stop
need
it.
to see. That's how social media works.
Whatever. Regardless, it was
He's-
like a 5 handicap from
he's
15 to
old.
18 feet, and it was more likely to 3-putt than to hole out
On their greens.
on.
But I
on no, based
on-
on gin.
purely based on
Gin
gin.
numbers, which
Gin.
is whatever. That's any wide variety. Gin. No, it's gin.
Gin.
It's gin.
It's
I looked
gin.
it up.
I know it is, but I told you.
I know,
like,
I'm a gin
You
guy.
guys
so
said
like-
you're again.
Yeah,
We're
we're good.
But I'm just saying, like, if you took, if you our courses,
But I'm just saying, so like that
Same
stat right
speed.
there though tells you enough.
it should add more,
Yes,
regardless.
you're
of-
not gonna win. I mean,
What's-
you're not gonna.
But
gain.
What's this
how do
guy's
you
name?
feel? How do you feel personally on our greens? Take out the bumps and make them pure. Do you feel like you gain strokes
versus
versus how they play now with bumps and stuff and sand?
I mean, I just don't think we're that good at putters.
I'm not, but if you take into account that your approach shot now, they bounce different, they spin different. If
Right,
it's
but
pure,
every course does that.
what?
I mean, listen. I mean, now
But-
right
but-
now you sound like
I
Tyrrell
think-
Hatton.
Well, I'm saying comparing to because they're playing on pure. Even their dented
They're
is
putting
better
on
than
glass.
they're. I'm not talking about speed though.
Yeah, but like
I'm talking
you
about,
look
like,
at the
the
bounces.
pure-
I'm talking
and
about the
stuff.
roll.
I
I'm
mean,
talking about the
everything.
smoothness,
Like-
too.
Like they're. I mean, they're just better at recovering than we are.
Is it that or is it the playing surface?
No, it's recovery. It's just recovery ability.
Okay. I
And
just
its ability to hit a different type of shot at whenever it's called for.
all I'm asking is they play on pure courses, top to bottom, tee to green.
Absolutely.
You're talking
How
like
much
the
does that
chunks
matter?
and the
It doesn't.
stuff.
I don't think it does.
That's the question. I don't know. I,
don't
have
think
no
it,
idea.
I don't think it does.
Does it matter?
If anything, I think it
a
helps that
pure
we play on
course
slower greens
compared
with
to not
bumpy
pure.
courses or whatever.
But I have
because we
here's-
don't play the
here
ball
is the
down
thing.
either.
To be fair,
How many times have you played the ball down in your last ever rounds?
in the last 5, probably 3.
Okay,
Mainly
which would
because
be way above average.
and
Played
when,
the what?
when you would say
Play the ball down.
me playing down or the squad.
I'm talking about
I play
playing down to USGA rules,
I don't
meaning
know, I
that
don't know
you
the
do
rules.
not adjust the ball ever based on the lie.
I would say out of a round of 18, if
You
I'm
want to
playing
get
my
a
own
true
ball,
gin handicap? Play your ball down 5 times in a row. You'll find yourself in a way better position than you would if you.
I play mine
fluff
down
the ball.
probably 15 out of 18 holes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't touch my ball. I don't like to
Right.
because I'm a traditionalist.
Mm-hmm. No, that's understandable.
Now,
but
sometimes
you
you're like-
understand you're the anomaly.
Right. Correct. I
Because my
agree.
brother is your mindset,
Yeah.
and so like
And then I play
don't
with
do
I
it
play
for
with
the
Nick,
most
and
part
it's
from the perspective of like, on average, I play more best ball tournaments, which you're never playing the ball down.
ever.
Which is why
Unless you really
people
like
have to
it.
realize that like that's also why your score is better.
I don't score my.
You're
I
playing
don't
for
score
whatever the
tournaments.
hell
Do you score
lie.
tournaments?
No, you can't. I mean, you can't.
You can,
Well, you
but
Not
legitimately
Some
for
people
my
I bet
not
do.
for my
you're
handicap.
screwing yourself over if you are.
some people do.
I understand.
So,
But
so
I
playing
don't.
the ball down.
You don't touch the ball.
Just
So
means
what's-
you
what's
play
weird-
the
I
ball
know.
as it
It
is.
does not.
But what's weird is I am a relatively newer golfer, I guess. I didn't know that there was such a thing as preferred lie in the fairway until I started playing with, I believe it was Nick.
Because Nick goes preferred lie
But I've never
Preferred
played a
lie
preferred.
as in
always, as in he makes it preferred.
Like if I'm in the fairway or if I'm close to the fairway, I get to place it where basically
Wherever I want.
how I like it. I didn't know that
was the
preferred
thing.
lie was a
I
thing.
didn't either until probably playing with Nick, but mostly just watching golf.
It's
but
not.
But regardless,
It's
I
not a
didn't
thing.
know.
It's pick, clean, in place if the course determines it's
Mud.
too muddy,
yeah,
too wet.
But I didn't know that. So
To call
honestly,
Nick
you could
out
look
and
at
if he
you could
watches
look
or
at my
not, I don't give a
bag
shit.
at the
He
end of the
doesn't.
round, and you'd be like, okay, this guy's playing with a freaking mound
Right,
on his
which is-
golf ball.
That's perfectly good because that means that your
True.
handicap is true.
true-ish,
And
true most.
When
And
I
I'm
look
probably
at
more of a
handicaps
true
as a
15.
whole, if I want to go bet someone, just because like from a comfortability standpoint, I've played enough rounds from that. And Ryan, if I was you and I was betting someone, the first thing I would do is say, playing ball down today. Now, as you walk on, I don't care who you're playing
Because yours is true.
because you know what your true score is,
They
and like
don't.
you've hit from those lies.
You have to pee or something.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Good luck.
that's a good
Because
thing to know. for me
95% of people will 99%
absolutely.
of people
because
Absolutely.
will not play.
I'll
even
play it, and then the guy that I'm betting
and make
Won't.
sure.
has no idea, and he might. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
every time they're fluffing
Let me
the ball.
lick and
Yeah,
let
they're
me
also
picking
why-
it
my
up.
ball off.
Can we ask why? Why fluff it? That's not the game.
Yeah, but people are paying to play the game, and therefore you're paying to. It's hard enough for us to hit good golf shots in perfect conditions as
True.
amateurs.
True.
So
But is it-
therefore, like if you're we have to remember we're top 5,
Which is kind of crazy to
10%
think
of
about,
golfers
and we don't feel
in
that
America.
way, by the way.
Correct.
At
And
all.
no golfer ever does.
No.
The best guys in the world don't feel like they're the best
Right.
golfers for whatever reason. But like they need to.
But like need?
Yeah.
How much does a need come into a want?
Well, yeah, but like how much do you want to shoot 90 versus shooting 110?
But don't you want to know who you truly are?
Yeah, but if you're playing 110, would you be playing golf? If you
I
shot
started
110,
at 110.
well, like when you didn't really keep score.
No, I started. Well, yeah, because I didn't know there was a gin.
You know what I'm talking about,
gin,
though, like-
whatever you want to call it. I
Right.
didn't know.
When
but
you were
I,
self-teaching.
to
I'm
be
talking
fair,
about like when you
athletes
started
doesn't
like
help. But
formally keeping a score.
and you were a non-true athlete, I would agree.
Right.
But if you're an athlete, you want who you truly are.
Yeah, but I don't think they. I mean, for the most part, this goes
Because
back to the course condition, though. If I think that the course has unfairly unkempt the course, I'm much more likely to refuse a lie.
You are personally, like you're saying it for you personally.
Is that I don't know what that is. Like, no, that's
But why?
That's not legal,
Why?
huh? Well, I mean, like,
We all play in
if
the
you
same
have
thing.
a tuft of grass,
Which I find a lot.
right?
for some
or
reason.
like if I have a fringe where, like, let's say the mower decided that they
Not
were going
mow?
to cut a fringe where
I've
they
done
weren't
that
supposed to,
so many damn
or
times.
like whatever. I'm like,
Right.
no, like this would never happen to X, or lost balls.
The lost balls.
Lost balls. This is a direct point of contention. A ball I know is in play.
In like close to fairway.
And
I know it's there.
Within even
5
for,
minutes.
call it a 20-yard radius.
Can't find it.
That no matter what, that ball is going to be found if I'm playing on the tour.
Or any tour, by the way.
Any tour. 100% found. Yeah. Like, no chance this ball is out of bounds. No chance this ball is lost. No chance this ball is lodged somewhere.
I agree with that one.
Do you take a stroke?
I agree with that one.
Do you take a stroke?
I'm probably 50-50.
Yeah, this is a yes or no?
Matt was probably 60-40.
Of yes or no?
I do not take the stroke, 60-40.
And I would probably be
it depends.
80-20 to taking a stroke.
It just depends.
And this is something that I pride myself on. There is not much.
That one, I agree too.
There's not anything specifically in my golf game that I really pride myself on. The thing that I pride myself on most in golf is finding golf balls.
Integrity.
You do find some golf balls.
Mine's first of all, I have very good eyesight, and I can follow a ball regardless of distance.
Except
there's
for
not
that
a
pick
ball
he threw against me at practice.
Well, yeah, that's because I was so locked in on the receiver.
Good see.
Yeah,
Good
I looked past you.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, like, from tee to green, people's eyesight isn't great. Like, I can see a ball 300 yards away, land, bounce, roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of guys will be like, "Oh no, the ball's not there." And
it didn't make it there,
guys. You aren't, or like, I'll watch someone hit a ball and then go look for it, and I'm like, God, they're not even
close.
Well, like literally, the ball's right there. And so, like, it's frustrating to me to watch people who don't follow their golf balls. First of all, out of frustration, meaning you hit, swing, don't watch, and then go search. If you're not going to watch, don't go search.
Yeah, just wait for someone to help.
Or just
sit there.
If you didn't care enough about watching, then drop your damn golf ball and get on with it.
So, okay.
My thing is, though, if I'm playing with a group of 4, if we lose golf balls as a group that I saw hit, I am personally offended and mad at myself. And that is like a thing. Like, not a... That will make me, if we lose golf balls that I see, I personally will play worse.
So if you're playing,
I will play worse golf.
If you're playing as a group,
I will play worse golf because and it doesn't even have to be mine.
If it,
just a lost ball.
If you're playing as a group of 4, then I hit.
But
you hit first. You hit first because you have honors. I hit third. Do you go put your club back, or do you watch me to make sure that you can see where my ball?
I will try to watch as much.
And it drives. That's one thing that drives me nuts.
That you aren't good at because I play with enough people that I know how they are about finding golf balls, or like, so like Joe doesn't have great eyes, but Joe hits the ball a long ways. So like I try to watch Joe's golf ball. Like Matt, same way. Like,
but that's one thing that
we
drives
know each
me
other's
nuts.
games enough to like
help.
But I mean, you can ask them. Like Joe's like, oh, he can smell it. Joe will say that to me. Like, I have a nose to find golf balls. And like, we're talking golf balls and long stuff because I will watch trajectory. I will watch bounce. I will watch where does it end, not where was it going.
Yeah.
Like, where did I think it should end up?
Right.
Like, because that's always wishful thinking. No, it didn't go that far, and no, it's not that close to the center of the fairway.
Right.
Sorry. But
this is where it went.
The realist and eyeball effect will take me to the golf ball. The problem I have is my golf game is affected by it. Like, if I am a guy who is looking for my golf ball, who I know where it is, and I'm costing my players, the people behind me, time,
it gets to you.
And like,
why?
No, right. But like, so it's like, it's me personally, but it's also other people. Like, as I watch your golf ball, I see the flight and we don't find a ball, I'm mad.
It's because you're a team player.
And to a point, yes, but I also will get mad at someone who, after I tell them that your golf ball is gone, they keep looking. And I'm like, no, I will find if your golf ball's in play, I will find it.
If it's not,
I will tell you and get your ass on the course, put the damn ball down, and let's go. And so, like, I feel that, like, I think that's why, like, I'm looking for a golf ball.
I just played it.
You know what this just, like, plays in my mind? He's a quarterback.
Right.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to put you in the position if you F up, I'm going to let you know.
Right.
If not, I'm going to make you right.
But that's the realist
That's
in me.
who
Is
you
just
are.
like if it's in play, like I want you to be in play, and I want to go watch you hit the best punch 4-iron under a tree up to the green if it's in play. If it's not in play,
Let's play on. Let's go.
Lego.
We don't have time.
Like
I
this
just
is not
played in
a
a
personal
best ball.
thing at all. This is a me personality thing,
Do you feel? Can you guys feel the passion?
and I'm just like,
I just played in a best
it just
ball
is.
that
It just
I
gets
love
me.
it.
I think Cole would have quit on.
I can't
on this
stand
hole.
long
On this
tournaments.
hole, 100%, he would have quit on this hole because I wanted to. I watched a guy. I saw where his ball went in. Don't get me wrong. I saw where his ball went in. You're not going to find it. It was Waveland. It was...
Also, you're not going to hit it. Where are you going to?
Right.
Like,
I
most
believe,
of
was
you
it-
found
is it
you
9?
find it. How are you going to hit it?
Is it hole 9? That's the downhill par 4, comes up to the
Yep.
to the tough green right next to the clubhouse. It's hole 9, correct?
Right.
There's a shitload of trees
Left.
right off of hole 1 to the right. Hole left is the was it University Ave
yeah.
right there. This guy hits a horrible slice
Down into
with
the
the
valley,
3-wood into the valley, into those trees.
below the putting green.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. You're 100%.
There's a
right.
creek,
but
that
it doesn't.
runs down
It didn't
there.
even make. It didn't even make it there. It went into those trees. He goes, I watched it go in. I said, I don't care if you watched it go in or not. You're not going to find it.
Also, what I mean, you're not going to hit out of there.
And why? And why? Because I didn't hit a great drive. I hit an okay drive. I was just off to the right. I was just off to the right of the fairway,
Down in the valley.
just above the valley.
Okay.
So a good drive, but not a great drive. Why are you looking for this? We're playing in a best ball tournament. You
Oh, my
haven't
goodness.
lost.
You're playing in best ball?
Yes.
Oh, it was
Oh,
basketball.
I would have
That's
left
why I
his
said.
ass.
That's why I
I'd have
said you would
straight
have quit.
left his ass.
That's why I said.
No, we
you
would have
would've
drove
quit.
to my ball and like, were you
Was his
riding with him in
deeper?
the cart?
Yes, but I had. Here's the thing: was his deeper?
No, not a chance.
a chance. I was probably 60
I mean,
yards further.
I would say do a sneaky peek. I can't see it.
He
Let's move
walked
on.
through. He walked
no,
through.
you don't walk through.
His treasure that he found was a nitro, a pink nitro,
Dope.
and I was like, okay, cool.
I would have
See it-
drove
see
to
it
my
never.
ball and hit
No,
it.
I hit my ball up onto the green. He was riding with me. I drove up to the green and I waited. And I
Good.
did
You made
not,
him walk?
Yes,
Good.
100%.
Boom.
Boom. Got him.
That's my man.
100% because I know
Absolutely.
exactly what you're talking about. And I do that from time to time where I hit it out and I'm like, okay, I'm not playing basketball. I'll try and find my ball. If I don't and I find another ball there, oh, cool. It took me 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Right.
I'm back. I'm going to play because I understand that my ball's gone. This guy, I watched it go in. I know where it dropped. No, you don't, because there's a creek right there. There's this, there's this, there's this.
Right.
You're not going to find it. That is probably one of the worst places to try and find a golf ball on Waveland's
Oh,
golf
it's
course.
terrible. Yeah. No, that's
In a best ball tournament where you have a good ball
best ball.
and
There's
play.
no excuse. I mean, honestly, on that, there wouldn't be an excuse in
To looking
it was-
for it, or
because like you're better.
I was-
as an
I was
amateur, you're
on the
better off
uphill.
still taking a stroke there.
absolutely.
I was-
the only reason you would ever do that is if like you're waiting.
Not to mention the most.
Sure,
That's
go
a
waste
longer.
time
That
looking.
was a longer par
You're
four,
not
but I
losing
had an
money out of it,
uphill.
no.
I had an uphill approach shot on a longer par four with that one. That's a decent drive, just off to the right hand side in the rough.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you care to name names?
What was his name?
No, it's fine.
he just does.
No,
It's all
I
right, it's
played
fine.
with. This is the first day I met the guy.
Okay.
I got asked to play on this tournament.
That sucks.
It wasn't Joey.
Softball Joey,
Yeah,
100%.
that tracks.
Wow, that was.
Shorter, he decent golfer.
Yeah,
How
good
would,
golfer.
how would you pull
Yeah.
that? What?
But
100%.
yep. All right. That's
How would you?
I couldn't tell you his last name,
thanks.
but I know his first name.
I know things. I know a lot of things.
May or may not have
Found
been
a lot
asked
of
to play
balls.
in the same tournament that I couldn't play in. So.
Yes.
Let's go
Tracks.
together. Yeah,
Tracks
yeah,
more.
let's go
Okay,
together.
cool. Anyways,
I must have been you. I must have been you in that tournament.
back to
Gosh, I hope
people's
so for
favorite
I hope
courses.
not for their case, but
Back to people's favorite courses since we diverged.
Yours.
Mine.
Yeah, hey.
Mine is Talents, actually.
Never played.
Now the problem
That's
is
not
it's
even fair.
it's super private, like not private, but like private. So I'll go with my backup with that. But Towns is it's always immaculate because no one plays. It's tough. there's fescue. It plays like a traditional, but also sometimes not. It's just I love the course.
We can't speak to it at all. Neither one of us have got the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm playing there on Thursday. That's why I'm highlighting it. Back-to-back champs with Nick, by the way. This can be Nick, Roger, and Dan and I.
Where in
at
what
Talents.
tournament?
It's the DMAC, DMAC something. I don't know.
I think
DMAC
I could pull it
president.
up on
Drake
a calendar
basketball or
because I-
Drake used to do one.
No, they still do.
They do?
Have you seen the prices on it?
No, because I volunteered once and then played.
Dude, it's
once.
on. You played the Drake one?
I got invited by some alum.
Oh my goodness!
I don't
The
know what
prices on that are.
I've never looked.
I mean, we're talking thousands
It just says
Per?
per.
Pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
I mean, it's all a fundraiser for the.
I'm playing in one later on this year that's 125 a person, which was 100 last year.
I'll go 125 to about.
For some reason, if
400.
I remember right, I think it was about 15. Because I looked at it because I really want to play there.
I would. You need to talk.
Here's the thing: my
talk to
brother-in-laws have played there and they don't golf.
That sucks.
So like, I have because they have a connection with nephew of Alba or whatever it may be, and I've never gotten to play there. And my brother's gotten to play there. So like, I have like personal reasons that
Right.
I'm like,
It's you guys.
oh,
it's a
you've got to play there and I haven't. Like, you're not
It's-
even a golf purist.
It's pretty fun, and there's 19 holes.
Wait, so okay,
The 19th is over some water.
stop talking about it. That's fine. I can see
Can
it
I-
from
my
the
plan
road
B?
when I drive by. Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Not to be rude.
Not to be rude.
Find
But
your
to
ball
be
and move on, sir.
I don't. Right. I know Honey Creek. I really like Honey Creek. I don't know the other one, so I can't comment on that one. I would say that 9 is in my top 3 nines, probably. Overall, favorite course. I don't know besides Towns if I can say I have a favorite course. I would say the 9. If I combined multiple courses, I do love me some Copper, and I do love some Legacy, and that 9. So if you combined certain holes,
Is there a certain course because I agree with what you're saying.
I just don't.
Because like there's a lot of courses you're like, I don't really like this hole or a couple of those holes. I think I look at it because like when we went and played the courses that I had talked about, like Amana and those courses, is like I try to look at it more from like, could I play this course every day?
Fair.
Because like some of those courses are so
That's
challenging.
a good call.
That like
I
I
just wouldn't want to
physically
every day.
like Blue Top Ridge, great course to play a couple times. Probably my least favorite of the ones we played. But like no, like the answer to
that's
that
fair.
one is no, just because like it's exhausting. Amana, no, because too many trees, but like not because of the course.
Right.
But then like Spirit Hollow, yes.
Because I could play it every. Okay.
Yep.
I'll
And so
answer
like
that.
Boss Landon. Have
That's
you guys ever
good.
played Boss
I've
Landon?
heard of it. I've
in
never
Pella?
played. You guys, to be fair, I started golfing in 2012 after my
Right.
Achilles
And
surgery.
you're not from
and I'm
here
not
originally.
like I
That's
only
fine.
know Des Moines.
Right.
I grew up in Omaha, never golfed there.
Yeah.
Like my golfing is here and then Hawaii.
Jessup?
Like, that's it.
So where I grew up, Jessup had it was a okay 9-hole course, and then his last name's Black. I want to say it's Justin Black. He controlled like some of the nicest courses. His family did in Iowa, so then he became the course manager at Jessup. Took that 9-hole course. It's been incredible since.
Right.
And I think they sold it off since. So Jessup growing up, I wish I would have golfed because I golfed it when it was really bad, and I've golfed it when it's really good. And knowing how good it is now, I wish I would have golfed it more.
Right. But like, Glen Oaks, have you guys played?
No.
So Glen
I played
Oaks, beautiful
Echo.
golf course. Echo, great golf course.
No, Glen Oaks.
Echo's underrated.
Once. I don't have
So-
enough to remember.
Des Moines Golf and Country Club.
Never.
No.
I've golfed the South course, not the North course. 2 very different courses from
You're under
what I understand. North course way more difficult than the
guy
South.
that in the office. He has a
Wakanda,
Yeah.
where they play the Principal Charity Classic.
I like Wakanda. Honestly,
Up and
I've
down-
never played it
up and
outside
down,
of
a
a
lot of
tournament.
trees.
That's
If-
the
if I could
problem.
play-
I've never played it outside
I
of
played it twice.
the tournament.
because I don't play it enough, and maybe my favorite hole to tee off on as a starter hole that I could play maybe every day, and this might be a bad thing.
Number
River
one?
Valley.
Oh, River Valley. Yeah.
That's a
8L?
course that I could play every single day.
Are you
I think.
familiar with River Valley?
I think I could play River Valley every day. I
Yeah.
could become a member there.
I played it once.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love their elevated hole 1, elevated tee off.
Hole 1 and
straight
hole
down.
10 both elevated down the same.
Love
Basically,
it.
you're playing the same hole
Exactly.
twice.
And I love it for that reason that a lot of times 10 and 1 are super different. These ones are
Exactly the
basically
same.
you're starting the exact same 9
Then
again.
you're going left, then you're going right.
Yeah.
Yep. Both into par 5s.
I would say-
ironically
And I
enough.
like it a
But
lot.
I like pain. Obviously, clearly, I choose the under and almost.
Right.
Have I
Yeah.
chose the over this year? Maybe once, twice.
Right.
I love
But
pain.
I mean,
so I love
by
hard
your-
courses. That's just by me design.
But is
So I would say,
is Talents tough?
yeah.
Okay. No.
Now
like, it doesn't
I've never
look that
played.
tough
From,
from the
I've
road.
never played from the tips because that's not
Right.
the tournament. I've only played in tournaments there.
like
Same with
compared to like
Wakanda.
Otter or Briarwood.
Take otter and copper mixed.
Okay.
You've got the tightness.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a lot of trees. You have tall fescue, and you have a little bit of up
So
and
it's
down.
links-ish with a little
It's
bit
like
of
a
flow.
links traditional.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
With in now again, I haven't played from the tip, so I don't know how it
Mm-hmm.
plays. I love playing otter, obviously
Right.
for monetary reasons, but I love otter for the challenge. I've never scored super well there. I score fine there. It's easier from the tips.
I have
We've
a good
talked about this. Talons,
9.
if you
Sounds
get in
about right.
trouble,
Yeah,
you're,
that
you're,
makes
you're
sense.
effed.
Well, I mean, just the course is constricted enough that it's got to be tight
And they've
because
done
it's
some-
landlocked.
Absolutely. There's, I mean, you've got creeks, you've got ponds, you've got fescue, you've got just tall ass trees.
Extra holes,
The thing you don't have is wind.
right? Because
It's
you're
protected.
you're in town,
You're-
comparatively speaking.
Well, but the thing is,
And
and
it's
those
down.
who don't know, it's across the street from Otter.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately across the street.
Yeah, but two different courses.
They
Otter sits so
could
much
You have
not-
3
higher,
different
though.
courses within like a square
They could not
3
be
or 4
different.
miles, correct?
They could be
With
not
Briarwood.
I mean, technically speaking, within a square half a mile from like any points touching the course.
Oh, absolutely. And then if you want to throw Ankeny Golf, add a little 2 miles,
Yeah,
3
2
miles.
right? Well, and then Woodland's not that far away.
Woodland's
from
not
there.
far from, so
I like
a lot of,
Woodland.
But I would,
would.
I want to get you guys.
I like
I don't know how we get to Talents, although you can. It's you can do a
If
package,
we need a feel good round
$500
for
a round.
the, if
no.
we need a feel good round, we just
So-
go out to Woodland.
So here's
and by
me.
feel good, also the most
Meaning,
dangerous
if you
course
don't
I've
shoot
played.
par, you don't feel good.
Yeah, but
I'm
also the most dangerous I've played.
Well, yeah, head on a swivel, bud.
I'm a
That's how you were taught.
I'm a
though,
dive
right?
bar.
Back there, head on-
Not when I'm trying to tee
I'm
off
a dive
or
bar.
putt.
Far right, far
I'm
left,
putting.
far
Why?
center.
I'm a dive bar kind of guy. That's a dive course.
Uh-huh.
Like that feels that
It's
coincides.
dangerous.
Woodland coincides with my dive bar mentality.
That's fair.
That's why
But
I like Woodland.
I would say, based on all of that, places we played, Wakanda, not playing from the tips, it's a really fun one.
I gotta get you guys out to the country club in the Ballard Golf and Country Club up in Huxley.
I've heard about it.
So I've heard they've done a lot of
But-
great things. So
Good
my,
course.
I'm
Small
gonna let
greens.
him speak on that.
my in-laws, sister-in-law, her older
We gotta
brother is a
get some
chiropractor.
picks here.
My sister-in-law, her older brother's a chiropractor up in Ballard,
Mhm.
and he has done a ton for that community. The Flight Club at what's that new bar up there?
Yeah, it's called Flight.
Yeah, so the
something.
Flight Club, everything like that. He's helped,
Push that
market different
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. He does a great job up there.
Mm-hmm.
I've always heard good things because they're starting to do the right things.
Right. Well, and that course has been in good hands for several years now, so like they've taken good care of it.
And that's what it is. Like a course can be, you could have for example, if Beaver is in new hands, so we'll see.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Course
We will
management
see.
makes all the difference.
Exactly. Beaver's South 9 was great, how we're talking about, but it could turn out to be really bad because those holes, how they're designed, could be very, very poor
Right.
if they're not managed correctly.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. We'll do a podcast from
Is it
Copper
what's
again,
the
but we'll do a podcast from from Ballard Golf and Country.
What's the links course up in Ames?
Coldwater.
Coldwater. That's actually
It's a solid course.
it's a solid course.
It's not easy, but it's
It's cool to play, like going next to their practice field, seeing Hilton or not Hilton, Jack Trice right off to the left. Like those are cool things. I like that. I always liked.
Have you played Coldwater, Soy? In Ames? Another good one. Just a links course.
What's the Iowa State Hub course?
Vinker. Okay. That's where Iowa Games is this year.
Is it?
Playing in a best ball, Iowa Games best ball up there. It's solid.
It's solid.
Yeah, no, Coldwater's just true links.
I don't think I've
100% true links.
True links. No, trees are not. I mean, they're in play out of bounds, but they're not in play.
If
on
you
the course.
you have to hit the ball poor to some holes. What's the run that? What hole is it that runs straight across the apartments are in your backside? Runs right across the practice field. There's trees off to your right.
Well, you've got.
There's 2 holes. I think they go back to
Are you
back.
talking about like the par 4 or it'd be par 4 and par 5 that run right along the like the intramural fields there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know
So
what holes they are,
those
but-
ones would be the ones where the trees are super in play.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not in play as far as like, there's no trees where like you can get under a tree and have to hit through like
No.
if you hit it in
And
the
the thing
trees,
is-
it's out of bounds.
So what's amateur golfers, and most people are right-handed,
Mm-hmm.
and amateur golfers most have a slice,
Correct.
right? So if you aim over top of the intramural fields,
Yeah.
you'll probably be fairly close to the center of that fairway.
Right, that's true.
So
Yeah.
those trees could be in play,
Right.
but you can take them out of play on that links course.
But that course isn't like it's not a view course.
Hey, we should go out
a
Friday to
nostalgic
one of these new courses.
Yeah. Maybe.
Person who has closings.
Hey, I'm working on it.
Lame. No, you're working.
I'm working on it.
No, I heard
I'm actually
working.
working on it today.
Good. Keep working. Close it Thursday.
What time
Well,
can
I'm
you
at
guys play on
Talents.
Friday?
What time do you want to?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be hot, right?
I have no idea.
It's hot in these rhinos.
Hot in these rhinos.
I knew you'd
Earlier
know
the
it.
better.
Huh?
Earlier the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% for me because
6, 7, 8.
I have like a
That's a little tall. There you go.
22-inch old at home.
What's the weather like on Friday?
It doesn't matter if you're teeing off at 7 or 6.
I mean,
Probably going to be 65, 70.
Yeah. Beautiful. Little dew on the ground.
84 chance of rain.
Better get out early.
I'm an elements guy. You guys might be in trouble.
Except for that one time.
Maybe like an 8:30 Friday.
Can't wait for a side bet. All right, let's go. So
We'll
let's
be
go
in
to the
touch.
Travelers. I'll do a quick breakdown
I
here
have
because
one news. One
Okay,
news.
One news.
Got some news.
News. Gronk retired. Again.
Again.
Re-retired.
The other news would
Yes.
be
That's it.
the other news-
Retired or re-retired?
Or retired again. Retired? Did he retire the first time?
there's
I know, but
actually
like, is it
two
re-retired? or
there's
is
2
it-
sets of news that we can hit on maybe better next week because we took a little bit of time here. Brooks moving to the Live, Abe Answer moving to the Live, but as much as the Live is not affecting the PGA Tour, it is in the fact that the PGA Tour just announced 8 new events, $20 million
purses per.
Starting 2023.
starting in 2023. And they're changing their structure from, so for example, this year's PGA Tour would have started in end of 2021, ends at the Tour Championship this year. Now it's just going to be, calendar year. So it's going to be, say, January
Back to what it was.
X,
They'll start-
January to November, whatever it is.
These are the good things that the Live Tour is bringing the PGA.
Yes.
Which we all thought would happen.
I don't have enough fire left after my passion bucket display of finding golf balls.
Yeah.
So,
Finding
like,
golf balls
we'll-
live.
As we find out more Live players and stuff like that, I'll get more passionate. I was very passionate in my texts today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live doesn't have
Which we might send
that
scroll through.
player.
Right.
Live doesn't have that player yet.
I believe, to go off of what, since you don't have the passion, now that these things and changes have happened, I truly believe some of the live players got together and have made a movement to force PGA's hand.
But it's all the guys I don't care about.
That's the worst part. But I believe then,
Like for the good, like so that makes me
come
feel good about it. That like nobody that
I don't care about
has left, and so like therefore I think that makes me more passionate
If I
towards
saw-
like the PGA Tour of like screw these guys. Like
Right.
they're all the guys that I
Yeah.
knew would take the money because they're all dirt bags I don't root for. Like so like that makes me like somewhat feel like
I wouldn't even call
like-
some of them dirtbags that I don't root
I
for.
know,
It's
but,
like,
like,
but it's like past
that's
players
what
that
they
I
are
rooted
now.
for. Past players that I rooted for.
name-
Like
name-
DJ, I used to love DJ, but then he started to fizzle out.
Is it
My
because of
favorite,
his
my
wife?
favorite, my favorite golfer on tour is
yes,
she's got an expensive shopping
my
habit.
my two favorite golfers on tour is JT and Jordan Spieth. Like that's just
If they left for live, then
how would you feel?
what?
then I think I would pay more attention to Live. Like I would want to do more research about Live, want to try and find out everything about it. Because why did
I don't
they
think
leave?
that's a realistic
outside of
question.
money?
I like it's not a fair question because
Not gonna happen.
like I don't think those guys would leave. And like so when everybody like says that, it's like, well, what if this person left? And then I'm like,
It's-
that person's not leaving
I-
because
The whole-
they know what the PGA Tour is and they
The
know
whole
what it means.
Jordan-
And that's like
I would try to
LeBron
find-
the
thing.
jackasses that have left have left.
Can't do it.
I would try to find a way to justify them for leaving outside of money. That's what I would do. Because right now the people that are leaving is because of money.
Well,
and you can't say no.
So for me, before you guys highlighted what Rom said, I was like, "Oh, all right. Oh, okay. I could see it. I'll learn a little bit about it, just to like maybe." The first tournament I didn't watch. I think I tried to watch.
Best answer I've ever heard.
Awful. And then Rom to blast out what he said, and we'll make sure to post that. But for him to say about the tradition and all of the things that he said, which I can't quote.
Yeah, but it wasn't like specifically the
was
number
like,
one thing
Yeah,
that
that's who I am.
hit home for me was like Rom specifically because everybody has just been claiming that it's life-changing money.
Yeah.
And yes, like we all know they're going for the money.
He asked
But
Kelly
it's
his
just
wife.
like they're taking care of it. And it's like the top guys. So DJ, anybody that's in the top, however much, I call
Don't
it
matter.
top 20 ranking now. Some guys, absolutely, this is life-changing money and they would never make it on the tour. But like Rom specifically said, if I did not hit another golf shot, myself, my family, my kids would all be perfectly fine based on the money that I've amassed so far without making another dollar from golf. And them specifically, I think, targeting DJ a lot, saying that it's about the money and about, you know, your family. Like, DJ's made as much money as Rom, if not more. Like,
Yeah, not
to
to mention
not be
100%
okay.
more.
And he's married to Wayne Gretzky's daughter.
who.
So
So-
Kokrak
If you
is
don't
a
know who
guy.
Wayne Gretzky is, please just Google search real quick.
Kokrak,
Not to mention, I think
Kokrak-
she's a
NHL
model of
greatest player
some
ever.
kind.
All right.
Jason Kokrak's a
Whatever.
guy that has talked about setting his family up for life, those kind of things,
Right.
this kind of stuff. But basically has said, I'm not going to leave until after the tour championship because he wants to give himself a chance. If he wins some of these tournaments, yeah, he'll make some money.
But
And,
even
okay,
then,
I
like,
wins-
how much do you think that guy's made?
Also, I think
But if
that's,
he wins a couple tournaments, then
I
they'll
don't
pay him more.
I don't think
That's the only thing.
I don't think that's him being as super open as possible because to me, what that reads is I'm gonna wait and see what happens and then decide. Guess what? He's gonna decide now at the Tour Championship. Now with what the PGA's tours
No,
came out
he's-
with,
Right.
he's not going to live because
here's
now the
the
money's
thing,
Yeah,
there.
no, he's going to live solely for the fact that one, it's guaranteed money, and two, all he's trying to do is boast his resume to get more money from.
Do we know
Liv.
what Taylor
Kokrak's
Gooch
going.
got to move? Do we know what Taylor?
I think he got like 25.
23?
Gooch.
I think Gooch got like 20 or 25, like
Okay.
something,
It's not
a good amount.
But
using
I'm
him
talking-
as a thing.
But we're talking about career earnings type of money, $25 million. If I'm Taylor Gooch, and here's the competitive problem when you're this good at a sport. 25 million is a lot to say no to, boys.
Yeah, that's why NIL, college, that kind of stuff is going to change.
If those other, like, I haven't had enough time to be ingrained in PGA traditions. Now, I'm a lifetime golfer, obviously, if I'm this good. Believe me, I am 100% on the PGA guy's side, and Live is entertainment, showtime, whatever base. Like, that's 100% my $25 million at 25 to know that no matter what I do in my life, not knowing that in 2 or 3 years where Live and PGA might come together is next to impossible to say no to.
Talking about Joe,
and if I'm old and washed
Joe
up,
Burrow.
Why not?
We talked about Joe Burrow saying, okay, I got a check cut for me that fell into my bank account for $24 million the next day after I had my signing bonus after the draft. I signed with the Live Tour. I have $24 million in my bank account. Boom. I'm 24, 23 years old.
I personally just disagree.
Right, but like, so do you disagree with Mahomes having a guaranteed contract for $50 million?
I also disagree.
Right, but like, are you saying no to it if you're Mahomes?
Well, absolutely not.
That conversation is different.
No, it is. Like, but that's what I'm trying to.
Like, I would say no because of his contracts.
No because we've never been offered $25 million.
I agree to that, but I would have a very tough time if I'm good enough to be in the PGA and actually competing and not just like Monday qualifying it every week. Mm-hmm. Then I would rather bet on myself, specifically in the situation of the unknown. In 2 or 3 years, it'll be more clear.
Right, but it is right now. It's very unknown, and it's guaranteed money now.
But it's also
it's Phil.
Does Taylor Gooch know that he would have a $25 million available in 2 years?
No. This is my approach with it would be I'm going to bet on myself, and I'm also going to know that I can get by being, I don't want to say a better person, but sticking to my tradition and my code and ethics. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get better sponsorships, and by the way, the money in golf is sponsorships. Right. Because we talk about Tiger, he only won $125 million, but he's a billionaire.
Billionaire, no. Right.
Do you think that came from
no
winnings?
We all know
absolutely
where it came
not. So I'm going to ride that path. That's true and has been there for a while. Mm-hmm. Then let this thing fizzle and figure out what's going to happen. If by doing so already has caused the fact that there's 8 tournaments that I could win, whatever. I don't know the math on it. 12 million. I don't know what
but you're not going to win every tournament.
No, you're not. But now I didn't hurt who I am personally because now you've lost fans. I didn't hurt my chances in the PGA. We don't know about the majors yet. Right. And now I'm already going to be able to make more money in 8 tournaments. And it hasn't even been a year. It's been a month. Maybe a month now. I've been gone for 2 weeks.
Right, but let me tell you this.
I would personally do that way.
Before knowing that the PGA was going to change anything,
I would say this.
There's 8 weeks that I can guarantee you're going to be on the golf course and make $120,000. Here, I'm not.
It'd be enticing.
I'm not actually willing to offer you. I'm willing to offer you $0 to come to the Live Tour. But in 8 weeks, I want you to make at least $120,000, and I want to promise you that you can be home with your boys for 44 weeks of the year, and that you can raise that family and know that in 8 weeks you can make $1 million this year, and you can take care of your wife, you can take care of yourself, you can take care of your boys.
Now is Gooch married with kids?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
But this is I'm coming at you from.
Oh yeah,
I'm coming at you from that perspective of like all of these people want to come at it from a moral obligation standpoint, and I can soften the other side
easily
and sell that to you as this is a conversation between you and your wife, honey. I'll be home. Take out 16 weeks even,
right?
Because I'm going to prepare a week before each tournament. I'm going to be home 36 weeks of the year now
and make $1 million.
And we're going to make $1 million. If I play well in any one of the tournaments, I will more than double that money. And I know that I'll be home 36 weeks of the year to see my boys do whatever it is that, and like that's that's where I struggle hating Live. Like it's why I don't get to that point is because like 1,000% that is life-changing money.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can't sit here
can't deny that.
And I will be I'm a PG, like I know from the feelings that this has exerted in me that I am a PGA guy, but I just can't sit there and say that like Live is completely irrelevant and this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like, because money's money.
Yeah, it is. Especially for the fact that Scotty Scheffler this year has had the best year in tour history.
And it's June.
In June, $12 million. and that is 1/10 of what Bryson DeChambeau
Injured,
from the
non-playing,
got from the live tour.
irrelevant.
But he would not. Scheffler would not have gotten offered 120. Currently,
Bullshit.
call it. You know
150.
why? The live is going after when they give money. They're going after players that can make a splash in the media.
They also are going after players they think they will say yes.
But if
Also true.
but here's the thing,
Like I'm
No.
saying, like if you're comparing
Scotty
Bryson
Scheffler-
to Scotty,
Scotty would
right now
Scotty gets paid more.
he does not get paid more.
If
He gets
Scotty
paid
well,
more
right
because
now,
he's the
because
number one
Scotty
golfer in the
goes,
world.
bloop, 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 Live tour. Greg Norman speaking. Hey, this is Scotty Scheffler. Yeah, I'll take $150 million and I'll make sure that I play in no more of the PGA events the rest of the year. Okay, we'll see you in Portland. Click. 1,000.
He's the number one
gets
golfer
over
in the
120 million.
world.
150.
He might get,
Maybe even
he might
200.
get 175.
They don't care. Money's not the issue. They don't care if they make a damn dime.
He's the number
That's
one
true.
golfer in the world.
This isn't about whether they made a dollar or
don't
gave a
think so.
dollar. It's about
You're-
they know
you're-
who they
They're
can
wanting
get.
to hurt the PGA.
Your
then-
argument for
but-
Bryson is valid based off of
well,
Bryson's
I'm saying
name.
DJ, Bryson, Phil. It don't
Based off
They're
of
matter.
going after
Bryson's
the people they know
name.
they can get.
They're going after bigger names with the bigger money to, I believe, to hurt the PGA.
The latest name that
Trying,
comes out,
but
Try to.
effective. I mean,
They
the
gave
PGA's
Tiger a
changing.
fucking $1 billion.
they're going after broadcasters.
Well,
Like they're
yeah.
going after everyone to hurt the PGA in some type of shell. I don't know the end game. I really don't care. Again, like I'm a PGA guy. I think what the PGA is going to come up with will
But I think
match this
it's a
and
good
live as
thing
fun.
for the PGA
It's a
because the
fantastic
PGA has already changed a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, we just talked about it.
clearly, and it was a
And
good
so, like-
change. I think even
Like,
down
the
to
PGA
like how they
isn't
do it.
going anywhere, but it is going to have to change because of
Absolutely.
a bad thing.
Oh yeah,
So I mean, that's
that's in maybe
a lot of our lives, though. Like
now.
a lot
Can
of our
we
worlds.
say can
Like,
we
that's-
say that is not Norman's end game or everyone's end game?
Norman's end game is to
No, I think Norman's
expunge
a
the
complete
PGA Tour.
jackass.
I think it's expunge it.
I think that.
But I'm saying like the players that go over, are they going over fully knowing Liv's going to be here for 100 years? Or are they going over and saying, hey, this is easy free money and the PGA is going to change and
Dustin
most likely
Johnson-
they'll like us back because I have a big name.
DJ
the big name guys, not
Phil is going over to
the
pay
guys
off
that
his
are
debts.
going are going.
Phil's going to pay
I
the
think
debt.
the guys that are going are all going for different personal reasons, but I think essentially they're going knowing that they're not holding on to anything specific that they can gain from the PGA, whether that be because they're old, whether that be because they don't think they can compete at a certain level,
or just want majors.
do they care?
DJ?
And, like DJ and Koepka,
DJ just
do they
doesn't
care?
care.
They want majors.
Correct. And so, like, I think they think that they will always find a way to be in all
the
four
majors.
majors.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, the money.
Where does Brooks
is
compete?
more like they don't
Majors.
care about legacy. You don't hear those guys
No.
in conversations talk about PGA legacy. Everyone that's staying talks about
Legacy.
Where can I be PGA Hall of Fame? I mean, those things matter.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the difference to me.
Now, I know we talked about in text a lot. And we really have to get to our picks at some point.
At
but
some point, maybe next year.
Turns a pee again before we talk about our picks.
but we talked about the majors.
That's right now.
Jiminy Christmas.
Oh, jeez. I
Let's
thought you were
finish
the
this
old one.
thought. I've only peed once.
I know. I thought you were the old one.
Yeah, tell me about it.
How about the bladder
Well, let's
of the
finish
young
this.
man?
We can all go take a pee break and then we'll make our
I don't even have
picks.
to pee anymore. All right, what pee?
I already swallowed it.
Yeah, I already swallowed it. We talked about this with the majors of what can and what will happen with the majors. And we have decided
Thing
this
is,
year
they're
nothing
all- Do
clearly.
you think they're all going to be on the same page? That's where my head's going. Is that like they don't all like the majors aren't connected in any way other than that they're majors. They're all
That we
governed
know.
by specific bodies,
Right.
Who will talk to each other.
Now, obviously,
inevitably.
there's got to be
But,
back
like,
channels
they're
there.
all- I mean, we've got
But they have to
foreign, we've got domestic,
Right.
we've got Augusta, who's its completely
own
own
thing. Right.
thing.
But they've been forced to now have to have conversations together, I believe.
And they'll have to from a point system standpoint because there's qualifying that like you can't qualify without being
Right.
on the PGA
Yeah, and I think that's
for
where
a lot of those events.
I don't believe, obviously past champs and everything, they're locked in. They can't go back on their word.
Right.
Right. There's no way there.
But the OG, the official golf world ranking,
Is a huge deal.
But you can't official golf world rank off of a 54-hole no
cut.
cut 48-person event.
You just can't.
That's just dumb.
And if that happened, if that went through,
Right. You've completely...
we might as well not talk
at
about
that
until
point,
death
you
settles.
ruined
You ruined
competitive golf.
Absolutely did.
And, like, that's not
So now
even
are
an
those
argument.
8 tournaments that have no cut for the PGA? Do they have world golf rankings? I bet
Like
they do.
that, I mean, that's what
'cause
they're
they
based off
have.
of. They're
To get
based off
in.
of your ranking to get in.
But so then
They're not inviting anybody from the live for those.
Right.
That's all PGA guys.
That's what I'm saying though. So then do they get world golf rankings? Points.
off of
Off of those
that
8?
No, that gets you into a lottery
into
tournament
those
at
8.
the end of the year.
But I'm saying, do those 8
You
tournaments now
can't
get you
points once you play in those.
So you don't get points from those
That's just like at the end of the year when you're
playing for the FedEx.
for FedEx Cups. Like those aren't into
I just wanted to
right
now
No.
because they didn't talk about it.
They're just trying to give an area to make bonus money for the best guys in the world.
Absolutely,
To me, that's a start.
it's a start.
Like it doesn't.
it was
doesn't
their
keep-
answer. It was their immediate answer.
Which what that does is it keeps the top guys, which they've lost. Ryan, what's the number? Top 50
For what?
guys, 8 top 50 gone
In the
gone to live now.
Oh,
8 of the top 50.
So
the worlds?
what they're
As far
trying
as
to
I
do
know.
is keep those
yeah.
name guys from going, and that's I think essentially what they've started to
And give
try
an
to
exception to Tiger if he wants to play.
It's time.